Depending on how this Cup Finals
Now
goes,
we're talking.
I actually may, or I may make one that I have into a Perry. Although I don't have any other blank Adidas. Yeah, I would have to buy a new one.
Could be.
If I get a Habs jersey ever, it's gonna be a Philip Deneau jersey.
Honestly, hey, I wouldn't actually hate. I might get that just for like the legacy jersey of it all. Just like I have like a Blackhawks one just because of like what he was for the team for.
He was a turtleneck.
So
That's what he was. And welcome back, everybody, to the Fifth Line Podcast. We're not hyping this one up, guys. We're just getting straight into it. Into it.
We only have the one thing, so.
One thing. There's a couple more. I added a few.
Well,
things,
yes, yeah.
So later today, as this once this gets uploaded, the Stanley Cup Final will be starting, and there will be something I was very excited about when I saw the Habs take that Game 6. I was like, you know what? There's going to be a Stanley Cup champion here on the Fifth Line Podcast. We didn't know who it would be. Guaranteed. Yeah,
but it's guaranteed now.
It is guaranteed. And obviously at that time we didn't know who it was going to be, but we now know, and it's ended up being the Lightning. So we're going to have a Habs Lightning final. And I guess, first, Eric, we'll go to you.
Oh,
how are you feeling? God. Isles took a tough loss.
All right. I have a lot to say about the Islanders, so if you guys don't mind, I'm about to go off.
I regularly go off for like 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah. So I have a lot. There's a lot of stuff to address here. So first off, I just want to say the officiating in that series was god awful.
Oh my god, dude. It was so
bad.
You
guys got Chris Lee like halfway through the Vegas Habs series after he had already fucked up so bad in that one that they swapped series.
Like I don't. And Mike, you can chime in on this. I don't. Game 6 was such a pivotal game, and I really got to give the Islanders credit for grinding that one out. I mean, some players had like the games of their lives. Scott Mayfield's had the game of his life. Should have been penalized.
He did.
That shot was ridiculous.
That was a sick goal. That was a really sick goal. Yeah. But yes, that was a penalty.
Yes. So I think to address that, I just want to say like NHL officiating, like if Scott Mayfield is gonna play. Like, he's like, you know what? I'm going to play on the edge tonight, right? And he does it, and he gets away with it. Like, it's not that surprising that he does it for the rest of the game because what's his incentive to not do it, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like, and I know Tampa fans were like obviously getting angry about it, and I felt for that. I'm like, yeah, that's annoying, especially when like Tampa players would do the same thing and get called for it. Or at least a few times.
Well, it happened in Goodrow got called. The only penalty of the game.
Yes.
Got called for a cross check, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
It's always dumb in the way that they're like, "All right, we're just gonna let things go for a while," and then it just lets the standard get so lost.
It's just there isn't
to the point where then at a certain point they have to call a penalty to manage the game because when you're doing that. You're just going to create an environment that the game's just going to keep getting more and more aggressive and people are going to keep taking more and more liberties.
Yeah.
So then they have to call something to sort of bring the temperature down. But then when you see what the call is, it's usually the most bullshit call because you've seen something 20 times worse been done like the entire game.
Yeah. And I would like to say, so that was the Scott Mayfield cross check onto Cooch. And then everybody was saying that that's where he got hurt. I don't think that's where he got hurt.
I don't think that's where he got hurt either.
I think it was when he hit Barzell.
Yes.
I think that's when he
Was it where he kind of went into the boards funny? Because I think they showed that on replay.
And his arm was like in a weird spot and it like smushed his arm and it... I didn't look because I thought his arm was
affect him because he came back and kept playing like the rest of the series. I know he didn't play the rest of that game, but
he came back and played the one game. Yeah, but let me tell you,
Game 7. So
I was watching and like after every other play, he was going like this,
that was like 50% of Cooch out there.
Yes,
which is still better than 0, but.
Yes.
I know a lot of players too, which is kind of crazy because he can probably wire a few passes still. But
he took a shot which almost went in.
Really,
Like,
wow.
He took a little shot, and Varlamov got just the
got
corner of his blocker on it.
Yep.
And knocked it aside, and I was.
When that happened, I was losing my mind because I'm like, this is literally 50% Kucherov, just like throwing shots like that on it. Insane, absolutely insane. Oh yeah, sorry.
Just real quick. Every time he would go up against the boards and like it looked like someone was gonna hit him, my butthole was like just clenched.
Yeah, that is the thing. If he gets leaned into good,
please don't. But keep going.
Yeah. So I just want to say real quick, it's funny. So yes, the Islanders fell in Game 7. They forced a Game 7 with a really wild Game 6. I'm gonna get back to that in a sec. But Game 7, it was funny how the cross-checking penalty called on Tampa is what led to their shorthanded goal.
That is unfortunate.
And the Islanders' offense completely shit the bed, and it was the most Islanders way to end a series. Basically, their offense doesn't show up, and they let it. Well, I mean, I guess letting up a shorthanded goal is not the most Islander thing ever, because I think that was their first shorthanded goal. I don't think they allowed a shorthanded goal in the regular season. Yeah,
the whole season. Yeah,
and the one time they do. That being said, great. Like when I watched that game, Tampa came to play a Game 7. Like they dominated play. I know the Islanders. Yes, they were on it. I know the Islanders like to like give teams lots of shots, but from the outside. But Tampa had some great opportunities. Hedman had a breakaway early. They were moving the puck, just like watching Tampa move the puck. Like, you just know, you're just like, oh, they came to play tonight. And that's why it's frustrating as an Islanders fan knowing Varlamov played such a great game.
He did.
And
he
the
really
one
did.
factor is they had a power play, and not only did they not score on it, but they let up a shorthanded goal.
One little mistake.
Yeah. Great series though. Tampa though deserved that Game 7. Oh my God, what a performance! Seriously. Also,
I really
came to an end. So
they were gonna get. I thought your guys were gonna get something there at the end
third,
when they were just.
Oh man,
me too.
Those last 2 minutes. I was talking to Mike yesterday about this.
I was crapping
Those last
pants.
2 minutes, I was like,
yeah.
oh, they're gonna get something,
Yep.
and I was like,
Yep.
Sitting up like, holy fuck, they're gonna fucking score here, and I was like,
full credit to Tampa on that one though, with all the shot blocks, the Vasilevsky just doing Vasilevsky things.
It was all game as well, because I remember it was like late in the first period. NBC had a stat. They were like, the Lightning had like 13 or 15 shot attempts, and the Islanders had like maybe 3 or 4 blocks or something, and the Isles had 5 shots, and the Lightning had 5 blocks.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep.
They just
Dude,
weren't.
Ryan McDonough is a brick wall. Vasilevsky's a brick wall, but a brickier wall.
And
we'll
what sucks is Ryan McDonough is probably going to be one that might be out the door this offseason.
Man.
Oh yeah,
we got to talk about that.
I have that slated for the episode that we record on the 18th. The episode right before.
Because I'm fairly certain that teams have to lock their rosters like the 14th or something like that. They got to make their decisions on who they're protecting.
Yeah, it's like a few days, or it's gonna be like 2 or 3 days after.
Ryan told me a date today. He thought it was like
end.
the 13th or 14th. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah.
So that's like the logistical stuff, but I have some more stuff to say about Nassau Coliseum, because my goodness, that Game 6. So as an Islander fan growing up, that place was always super rowdy. I want to say one thing. It's interesting to me how like all you guys have like always disliked the Bruins, and I was looking at like social media and the Islanders fan base this weekend, and they're basically like one of the most hated fan bases, I'd probably say, in sports right now.
I think they're pretty disliked.
It seemed like it. But I just want to.
I have no problems with y'all. I just want to keep saying that. I love
because
Islanders.
This is the Isles fan that we know. It's friggin' Eric.
Yeah.
There's some others.
No. So the one thing I will say about the Islanders fan base is yes, I feel like an odd man out, because like people like I love the Islanders, but like people like put like Borelli's, they put like that's like their life. Like their life revolves around this hockey team, and that's great. Anyone who could put that much like emotional investment into a team, props, because I cannot.
It's not very good for your health, I will say.
No, but
although sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah. But one thing I wanted to say, so Nassau Coliseum, like I remember going to Penguins games when I was younger, and like all the fuck you Crosby chants and all that stuff. Like that stuff has been happening for years, and the whole Stamkos thing that happened, I think that's what set a lot of people over the edge. It's a dick move, but at the same time, like it's a hockey game. Once the game's over, like
what happened?
So the problem with it is this: that Mayfield cross-checks someone again. And Stamkos whacks like nose into the boards and is bleeding, and then the crowd starts chanting.
Stamkos gets attacked on the ice, and then they start chanting at Stamkos.
And so I just want to offer, and again, I understand, like it's like okay, really Islanders fans, but my perspective of that, like I remember Crosby, he took a puck got deflected and hit him in the face, and he broke his jaw during an Islanders game. And it's like, he's an injured player. And literally as he's skating off the ice, everyone's chanting, fuck you, Crosby. And I'm just like, that's the Islander fan base. But like they make it a tough building to play in. After like most of my Islander fan friends, like after the game, it's like there's none of us are like, oh, Tampa like sucks. They got lucky. Like, no, they're a great team. Like they're a fantastic team. I like that Nassau Coliseum was a hard building to play in. I do understand the gripes that some people have. Yeah, it's a hard building to play in. So that's the first thing I want to say.
When's the new place opening?
So the new place is opening this coming season. I don't know when a date is, but so I went up to Binghamton last week and I drove past that place. Oh my goodness, it looks fantastic. I don't know if we can, when you guys are here, I don't know if we could check it out because I don't know. There's still a lot of construction going on.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's super
Hopefully.
cool. Yeah. So in terms of how the Coliseum was left too, the last game, all the beers thrown onto the ice. So one thing I will say,
dude.
not smart to throw beers at players
What was that?
at all. Not smart at all.
One of their players got hit in the head.
Oh, did
I thought one fell down and cracked somebody in the head.
Oh, I to be honest, I don't know.
But then Game 7, they threw out the fucking
They threw like the
noisemakers.
Yeah. And so
also
here's the thing
smart,
I want to say.
But
you're not smart.
What are you gonna do?
The thing I want to say. What are you gonna do? Exactly. It happened. Everyone was okay. And honestly,
drunk people at a hockey game got excited.
Yeah, exactly. When I think about, I don't want to say these are the two main reasons, but after a year of things being shut down and like no fans at hockey games and the longevity of like the time since the Islanders have been to a Game 7 and a conference final, we'll call it a conference final. Like all of that kind of bubbled over.
Talk about the goofy semifinal shit, like the stuff with the trophies that's been going. I want to talk about that later, but
we'll get there.
So it was honestly like when I look back on it, like it was kind of cool to see like the most Islander fan thing happen at Nassau Coliseum, regardless of if you love it or hate it. It was an Islander thing. I obviously if I was there, I wouldn't be chucking beers. I would be yelling, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah. But it's one of those things. It's just funny. Like a lot of people, again, hockey Twitter is a very toxic thing sometimes. But all these people saying like, oh yeah, like the old barn, like the old barn is closing, like whatever trash heap it was. It's like, like I don't know, like to me, like
respect.
It's like I understand that, but come on, like it's over and done with. Like
I know. I really enjoy when arenas like sort of become a thing bigger than just like a building.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Montreal Forum, the Coliseum, the Maple Leaf Gardens, the old one before they moved to the ACC, the Madison Square Gardens is probably the biggest example. I love it when like arenas kind of become like a thing of their own, like that are just kind of famous. It's cool. Yeah. I enjoy it.
It is very cool. And Nassau Coliseum is just one of those awesome buildings. It's a barn, it's a dump. All those words are nice to Islander fans, believe it or not. But yeah, what a way to end it. That overtime goal too that Pavilier scored was an awesome cat. It's over now, so I can say that, Mike.
Prediction for the last 5 minute. Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, Nick's been having some internet troubles. It took us like 15 minutes to get shit set up for our duo cast.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, I see. It's delayed now.
Yeah. We finally got it going, but yeah.
Hello, Nick.
What's going on, Nick?
Do you hear us? Okay.
We can. Oh,
My video is really far behind right now. I'll turn it back on in a minute.
Okay.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say now.
about the Coliseum. Anything about the overtime?
About
winner.
that goal where Coleman just was like, "Hey, Beauvillier,
Oh,
you want to be a hero?"
I was gonna say, you know how I sent you guys a text right at the end of as the Game 7 was like getting closer to the end. It was like with 10 minutes left. I was like,
Yeah.
Casey Zizekas is gonna score with 5 minutes left. My
Yep.
prediction was not right.
I didn't look. I didn't look at
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
text.
didn't he have a chance late? And I
Yes,
think he
he
had
did.
one of the
Probably.
chances
Friggin'
late in that.
everybody
Like,
That fucking
basically
Barzell
everybody in the
fans on that
Islanders
wide
did.
open net shot. Like I get it,
Barzell,
that's a
that
hard
was
shot, and it was
bouncing.
bouncing.
That sucks.
But I was like, oh, it was
Yeah,
right there.
Well, I think it's one of those. I agree with that. I think it's one of those like you make your own luck, right? The way the Islanders were playing that game, again, Tampa was dominating play, so like Barzell just didn't get a bounce there. You know, I think that's what it comes down to. It was just one of those nights, just didn't get a bounce. No rhyme or reason.
Which it sucks. It sucks that that's it sucks that that one bounce can break your season, but
Yeah,
that's the game that we're watching. So
yeah, and
You know who I was really disappointed in?
Who?
As just like a casual watcher, because I know the guy's better than what he shows, is Jordan Eberle. Like,
yes,
he just doesn't
For
seem
sure.
like he shows up to like go like be the guy. Like he's one of those wingers that could go be like really
Break a
good. I'm not
game
gonna put him in elite class,
Yeah.
but like he's one of those wingers that can do it. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing?
could be hurt.
Like,
So, he was one of the biggest disappointments. Other than that sick backhand goal he had in Game 6, that was pretty sweet. That was a nice
Which
little
one was that?
backhand release. The first goal that the Islanders scored to make it 2-1 or 1-2.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! Stupid Lightning. No.
Yeah, that was a bad defense. They gave him a lot of
2-0,
time and space,
and they
but-
just come on.
But yeah, Eberle is. That line was still Barzell, Komarov, and Eberle, and I want to give Jordan Eberle I want to give Jordan Eberle the benefit of the doubt and say like if he had like maybe another strong player on that line. But yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, he just I don't know. Obviously like you want Jordan Eberle on your team and on the ice for you, but it's one of those things. Yeah, like you're gonna need to do more than just be there and play. Like obviously he's gonna play part of Barry Trotz's system and be a great two-way player, as most of the Islanders are because of their coach. But no game breaker. The Islanders did not really have a game breaker. Barzell definitely turned it up during the end of the Boston series and the Tampa series. I think Barzell had his best stretch of playoff hocky.
His Game 6 was.
He didn't really show up Game 6 or Game 7. I don't think.
I don't. I mean,
none of the Islanders really showed up.
Yeah.
To be fair,
that whole offense was pretty like.
I didn't want to.
It looked like they couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing and I was like, the shots
Tampa,
were just like Tampa was just in control.
It was by the end there. It was Pulak and Pelech that were doing most of the work to get the offense set up. Like every rush, I would just see them just headman it up the ice, and then that was the only time any kind of offense was happening, which is definitely
like that
a problem.
Third or fourth line with Clutterbuck was more down in Tampa's end than anybody else.
Oh,
was.
Dude, I hate those guys now.
They're great.
I honestly do kind of love that
The problem
line.
with that line is that none of them are finishers. They just get like garbage bullshit goals. So like they're not gonna score something like that on Vasi very often.
They just hit people. That's what they do.
When Komarov went out, Komarov was out for like a few minutes in that game. And they moved up Palmieri on playing center on that line. I think. And
Palmieri and Barzell were on the same line.
I was like, this line looks a little bit better. It seemed like they were playing a little bit, or they were pressing a little bit more. But like, Josh Bailey didn't really do a whole lot either. And I'm like, the two guys on your team that are like three, if you count Palmieri, but like the three guys on your team that like really should clutch up or like be a presence in a crucial game. Like Barzell is who he is, but those three other guys are like, what are you doing?
I agree with all of that. And one thing, I mean, you could go down the list, dude. Nelson, Bailey, Barzell, Eberle.
Like Nick Leddy was more on the offense than anybody. Like Leddy was in the offense all night long.
Last game, yeah.
Yes, he was. He would skate like down the ice, and Tampa for some reason would give him the space to do so.
Yeah, there was a few plays there.
I don't really know why.
Off on him.
I'm gonna be. This is kind of sorry, Nick Leddy. I do like you, but I kind of hope you get taken in the expansion draft 1 and 2. I think they gave you the space because they figured you'd probably just dump it in or shoot it into somebody's shin pads. And honestly, why not? Yeah, Tampa's
okay, Eric.
So yeah,
I like it.
You know who?
Dude, yeah.
Says fuck Nick Leddy.
Well,
So-
nicely, fuck Nick.
No, I know.
I still like you.
Very
I
polite.
know.
Just from like a casual like viewer, I don't like see a defenseman on the Islanders that's like a heavy offensive defenseman like Hedman is for Tampa, or like Dougie Hamilton, or like that kind of player.
I think
Like,
a lot
do you
of them,
agree, or
a lot of them have
I
like ability to do some puck movement and like get some stuff going, and they got the wheels to be able to do some stuff. But like, you're probably not going to get you're probably not going to get the finishing like you would from any kind of offensive defenseman. No,
Seth Jones.
And like the system is like, that's not the way that the system is.
right?
Exactly.
Like that's not the goal.
Listen, so the differences between the two systems of the Lightning and the Islanders was best shown in one play where there was a D to D pass by Tampa that took place completely underneath the Isles goal line. Corner to corner, 2 defensemen.
How?
Because they all interchange and move, and when they're doing that, that's when they get you.
Yeah.
Tampa is a team, their individual talent, they have enough trust in each other. They're like, listen, this one guy is going to win his one-on-one battle and do his one-on-one part.
Yes.
And so when there's that trust in everyone, they could just move freely. They could do whatever they want. And no one falters because they're Tampa Bay. And props. Again, it was an incredible series. I didn't watch the game when Pollock made that diving save. Did any of you guys see that live?
Yep.
I just want
Yes,
to know.
I did.
Wow, that must have been okay. What a move by McDonough.
Oh, it was
I want to
sick.
talk. That was incredible as a defenseman. Like, and McDonough's not really known for that. Like, I know he
we
has
talked about that
offensive
last week.
prowess. Yeah, oh, okay. Okay.
We did, but let's keep her going, dude. It was sweet until it didn't go in.
And then Pollock, an amazing play. I was confused at the people saying he covered the puck with his hand because
he never did. No,
happen.
he blocked it with his hand and it kind of careened off.
Yeah.
He never covered that. No, that sounds like desperate Lightning fans. Is what that sounds like.
People there's enough people on the internet to have enough fans who are just the angry fans. They'll be like, nah, that's. It's like the same that were like, oh yeah, it was a fucking puck that hit Corey Perry on that high stick.
Yeah,
but we'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
It was a good, hard fought series.
It was a very good hard.
Once again, up to this point, obviously the toughest test the Lightning have had up to this point. Could very well get tougher.
That foreshadowing.
Could very well get
That
tougher for
foreshadowing
sure.
right here.
It's the Stanley Cup Final, so. But one thing I would like to say is once again, the Lightning have shown that they can win in any way they choose, or more specifically, any way the other team chooses.
Yeah.
The other team chooses how to play, and the Lightning say, "All right, we'll beat you like that then."
Yeah.
And I've been talking for a while, so I will just say, New York Islanders, hell of a season. Thanks for a great run and for proving me wrong in my bracket. I appreciate that.
Another thing about the Islanders, interesting stat. They got all this way, Game 7 of the Final Four, to make it into the Stanley Cup Final. Never scoring first, I believe.
Yep.
They never scored first in a single game.
That's impressive. They actually managed to do that.
Weren't they 8-0 in like series clinchers or something like that? Like they won them every time. Or there was some other weird stat like that.
It can't be 8-0.
It can't be because they did lose out last year.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah.
They probably had a really good record though.
Yeah, it's probably pretty damn good. Yeah. But the Lightning are what is that 5-0 then now?
They're good.
4. They're 4-0, and the last 4 games, Vasi has a shutout in the last 4 series clinchers. So yeah.
So the answer for the Habs is to not let the Lightning get up to three wins. They can never allow the Lightning to be in clinching position.
Yes.
Because shutout.
But let's move on. So the Tampa takes that, and it's now going to be a Tampa Montreal Stanley Cup Final, something that literally could never happen.
Yeah,
and will never happen again.
Every year, it's the one time. It's the one time go.
So Ben, I'll let you lead into this because you haven't talked so much yet, and that's weird.
I have. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to I know I contributed to the Islanders sections a little bit, but I'm trying to spread the time around because I know I'm sometimes a little much. But I do have because I have a point that I do want to kind of make. But first, I want to ask: did any of you guys watch much of Vegas Montreal?
Yes.
I watched the last couple periods of that game 6, and I watched like random periods here and there.
Okay. Well then, Eric, you said yes. Did you see a few of the games?
Yes.
I did. Okay.
Just know that none of the Vegas forwards showed up.
Oh, I know they had one. They had like one
wasn't
more
on
goal.
Petro's stick. From what I understood, from what I watched videos and stuff of, if it wasn't on Petro's stick, they weren't doing jack shit with it.
Yes,
so.
Alexander? I don't know. Alex Pietrangelo was their best player that series. But what I wanted to ask was, what did you guys see out of the Habs in that series against Vegas? What did you see out of their play? What did you think of it all?
Carey Price.
I think they're freaking fast.
One game. I will give to Carey Price. I'll give one definitely to him.
They got some their forwards. I just know that their forwards are just good two-way forwards that are just not gonna let those guys in take over. I said it. Philip Deneau is gonna demand some mucho buckos just because of how that guy's been playing.
Yeah, he's earned himself some money. He's earned himself some money.
If you guys listen to Steve Dangle podcast, they said he's gonna get $8 million or $7 million and score 12 goals. And they're going to be happy with it.
Still going to get a lot of money.
I don't think he's going to get that much, but he's going to get a good contract somewhere. But any other thoughts on just
be in Montreal?
Yes, I do have some thoughts actually. Ben, my biggest takeaway from that series, the thing that surprises me about the Habs most, their forwards being responsible is one thing that's just absolutely incredible to watch. But the Habs freaking D-core. NBC Sports is praising the Habs D-core, and we talked about the Habs D-core. So
I have not seen a more night and day. Yes, I have not seen a more night and day from regular season to playoffs in my life.
It was crap, dude.
They are the way they move the puck, block shots. One thing I will say, when Jeff Petrie came back, he was just a mwah on top of it, and
he's playing with he has a second hand, but it's not it's not an optimal condition. Let's just say.
Which hand is it?
Top it's
or bottom?
Bottom hand on a stick, which is helpful because the top hand is where you do more of the actual control.
Yeah.
So he got lucky in that degree, but still, he's still been looking great playing with 1.5 hands.
Yes.
Same with Gallagher.
Yeah, oh yeah, he has a hand injury too, right?
Yeah. But, sorry, go on. What were you saying?
So, dude, that was the biggest thing. I saw the way they moved the puck and, with confidence, the way they broke out of their zone, and I was like, wow, this does... Montreal's, dump and chase. I would assume they would do what the Islanders would do. Dump and chase, kind of grind out the games, but they looked really good. And, their forwards stepped it up at the right time. Josh Anderson, dude, every time he's out there, they're just, stretch pass. And I'm every time, he just always he skates so well. I didn't realize how fast he was.
So fucking fast, man.
And he's big, too. It's weird.
He's huge, and he's so fast.
Yeah, and
he doesn't have a whole lot of control is the problem. Yeah. He just kind of goes for it, and sometimes it goes well. But other times,
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think, I think everything, they just look, again, the Islanders are kind of, it's the concept, right? They win as, rolling 4 lines if they're going to win, right? All their 4 lines kind of contribute. There's no game breaker. And Montreal rolled, 4 lines. Incredible. They were fun to watch.
The big thing in the Vegas series was before that the Kotkaniemi, Anderson, Byron line hadn't really got going and then just caught fire. in that series. I said before in the last episode I was in, I called Vegas in 6. Wrong there. But I said the two biggest. Yeah, I had the right number of games. I said the two biggest things that if the Habs were gonna win, the two biggest players were probably gonna have to be Carey Price, which yes, he flat out is the only reason they had a chance to win a lot of the games, but especially Game 3, I think it was. I think that was the one that was the Marc-Andre Fleury fuck up to get the tying goal.
What an idiot.
Yeah, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice.
Right to Anderson, dude.
But Carey has just been rock solid all playoffs. He continued that series. But then the other guy I mentioned was Cole Caulfield. Finally, he had a lot of really, really nice assists earlier in the playoffs. But if he could actually break open his scoring, that would be huge. And then he goes and drops 4 in 6 games. So, and just like, I think, yeah, Steve Dangle mentioned it in the most recent episode where he was like, the Habs have always kind of been, all right, we're just going to try to collapse, protect the net, be as defensive as we can, and then pounce on our chances. They've never had, well, they added Toffoli too, which helped. He's also been a help in that area. But Cole Caulfield is just so much more of a game breaker in terms of scoring ability than they've ever had in years. Just because it's almost automatic. If he gets in on a clean break, it is a pretty decent chance it's going in. Like, it might get stopped. There was a couple stops that Vegas goalies had, but then he's just had a couple other beauties. And that one where he chipped it over McNabb's stick,
that was pretty
and
big.
then came around. I was just like, dude, this man, I don't even think he's got hit 25 games played total between regular season
games
and playoffs
mode.
yet.
He's playing above his age.
It's just
it's insane.
Everybody's and yes, as you're saying, Eric, it's very similar to the Islanders in that everybody to a man is just playing as a complete unit. They're very rarely ever missing assignments, and when they do, Carey Price just
they're on like a blessed run right now.
They seem to be. I think if I remembering the stat correctly, have killed 30 of their last 30 penalties.
Yep.
They have like a 93% penalty kill right now, which I don't think it will stay as good against a team
the Lightning
quite like Tampa.
The Lightning have a 37% power play.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, maybe just because you're feeling real good about this PK, let's not be too chippy. But I don't know. I've just been really impressed. Like I have said before, yes, there definitely was one game at least that Carey stole. But then otherwise, they did what they had to do. Like they played really strong, structured defensive hockey for every game except for 1 and 3. And one of those they got a win out of, and then the rest they only lost one of. So that's a good recipe. They weren't letting anything happen. That's the thing. Like you could tell every series it's happened where Toronto's forwards were feeling it for a while, and then once they found their defensive structure game, you see Matthews, you see Marner start to get more and more frustrated and like visibly frustrated, body language wise. The same thing started to happen against Winnipeg with Blake Wheeler and
barely had time to happen.
Nikolai. It barely had time to happen, but they were not looking happy by that last game. And then the same thing again happened. I mean, to a degree, yes. I don't think you're going to get Mark Stone not scoring any points in a series. Most series.
That's weird.
They did it, but there's a degree of him having a bad series, but then also they were frustrating him at every turn, and then eventually, if you're doing that the whole game and you're having that level of dedication, the tendency has been they usually tend to just lose the gas by like the last 10 minutes of the third every night, and then sometimes it gets a little hairy, but they usually have been able to hold on to lead. They've won 11 out of their last 13 games.
Dang.
So I know that Winnipeg wasn't the best opponent, but like they're all still NHL teams and they've won 11 out of their last 13 games. But the problem lies in, I think Tampa Bay is a far better team than even Vegas. So
I didn't think so at the beginning. Man, I think so now.
I think Tampa's a significantly deeper team than anybody else in the league. Like
Any
the fourth
other
line can still
team,
go
dude.
fucking wreck shit up too.
Yeah.
What other
like,
team? Let me.
The only other team that I can even think of that might have like, no. I can't because like I can't think of anybody else. We know that stat of like the top 6 scorers or top 7 scorers in the playoffs. 7 and 8 are not Tampa players, and 1 through 6 are Tampa players. Like
so the top 4 are Cooch, Point, Killorn, and Stammer, and then 6th is Hedman.
So yeah.
So, but not
the
only
Habs
that,
are gonna be very in tough. I will say.
Not only that, but what other team has a third defensive pairing better than David Savard and Sergachev?
Nobody.
That's their third pairing?
That's the third
Nobody.
Pairing.
Oh,
fuck.
And,
man.
And Tyler Johnson's on the 4th line.
Yeah, that's what. So I watched that game and I was like, Johnson's getting a scoring opportunity on the 4th line, and I'm like, Tyler Johnson, you're talking about the guy who like won them a fucking playoff series one year.
Yeah, against the Canadians.
Yeah.
Ben still has nightmares about that. Wakes up in a cold
that last second goal.
But all that being said, Montreal was still able to get past Toronto, a good Toronto team, a good Winnipeg team who still has Connor Hellebuck, who is not a joke of a goalie.
No.
And Vegas.
They just didn't have any defense. Winnipeg was rough by the end there.
But then Vegas is not going to say that I'm not going to be like outrageous enough to say that the Canadian division was good this year, because we all know it wasn't like that good compared to some of the other
with a few of them.
But like,
I honestly think
I'm not going to count Montreal out because like
they made it here.
Ben just said they won 11 of their last 14 or whatever.
13. Yeah.
13. Yeah.
So
lost 2.
They're doing something.
That's a good stat.
Yeah. Like what was I gonna say? Shit.
Something about the divisions.
Yes. I will fully agree. The Canadian division was probably the weakest overall, but I find that like it was just a weird division, because if you look at the teams from like their records from like the last couple of years, if you look at all of those teams, I mean, when Montreal didn't have a great year last season, but generally speaking, most of the teams were all just kind of like middling guys. Like it was a very, very average division. Like it was astoundingly average division. There was no like, Toronto's was very good this regular season, but there was no Tampa, there was no Vegas, there was no Colorado, there was no like powerhouse team. It was just a bunch of guys.
But there was also no Anaheim or Columbus.
Yeah.
Like even the Senators, I feel like even outperformed.
At the end of the season,
were
the
good
Senators
at the
were in a
end.
different position. Yeah, the Senators got good, better
towards the end,
at the end of the season.
Oh, it's kind of funny because it was self-inflicted at the beginning of the year, because they just had a bunch of old guys they brought in for like veteran presence, and then they were all like, and then they were all terrible, and they're like, all right, let's just get them all out of town, give the kids a chance. And then as soon as they gave the kids a chance, they're like, oh shit, wait,
should have been doing this all time.
We actually are kind of good. But anyway, getting away from Canadian, it was a weaker division, but I feel like it was just a lot of average teams. And then like the West Division had Anaheim, San Jose.
The West Division was not good.
LA, like it's not like there wasn't shit in the other divisions too. It was just a really weird year, and I felt like the talk of it was a little overblown. Like I always thought the Habs were going to be in tough against Vegas. I thought Vegas was a better team. Like I had no illusions about that. But also at the same time, guys, like they're still NHL teams. Like it's not like they're going to skate in and get 12-0 to every friggin' game, which was what some people were talking about it like, and I was just like, what do you mean? I thought the Habs were going to lose, but I always thought it was going to be close, and then they just showed that
they all are playing professional hockey at the highest level that there is. So they are clearly all good. Even if you're on a shitty team, you are a good player. Like we've talked about this. We've shit on Cody Ceci a handful of different times, and
Listen.
then you're like, oh, he's still fucking in the league, so he's still good.
Has been for a while, and then he randomly was good this year, kind of in Pittsburgh. Like he had a decent year in Pittsburgh.
He had an awesome year. But don't forget also Rick's story about Sonny Milano. Don't forget that. Sonny Milano, not spectacular in the league, but just
he's just junking on like normal people. Like
yeah, like if four of us, like if we were on a really small rink and it was four of us defending him, he'd and a goalie on like a mini net,
he'd still win.
A way to score.
He'd still win. But yeah, so I mean, and then you kind of just saw that it turns out NHL teams are probably gonna maybe find ways to hang with NHL teams.
True.
And then they did. But I don't know how I feel about this next match. I don't know how I feel.
He says that and immediately like backpedals off of it with no confidence in the Canadians against.
Well, no, it's just like this is actually the other point I was going to bring up. How am I supposed to reconcile me watching them just dog it for like most of the regular season? Just they didn't look good. Like I wasn't imagining it. They were terrible. Like they
were the 18th place team in the league.
They had a 15 game stretch at the beginning of the year where they were hot as hell, and then barely almost played 500 hockey while counting like the loser points as a part of the 500 record for the rest of the year, and then just got in. So like there's all of that in my head, and then now I'm watching after. I guess what it means is, when they were saying the entire year, oh yes, this compressed schedule is kind of getting to us, and oh yes, having no practice time isn't helping this new coach get his system in place, I have no choice but to believe all of that was true. Because the second he got a week and a half to instill a system, they have won, they got 1, lost 3, and then have since won 11 out of their last 13. So what else am I supposed to think but, yes, they just had a shit scenario this year.
So that's 5. So that's 12-5 then? Is that?
Yes, 12-5. They are 12-5
record. It's better than Lightning.
I guess they just. Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, now thinking about it, I guess playing it was 25 games in 44 days, I think, or something stupid like that.
Something.
Like the last month was rough, and having no practice. Yeah, I guess that would make it hard. And then as soon as I got practice time, they willy-nilly dropped into a cup finals. I don't know. It's been fun though.
Yeah, me and Danielle were talking about this yesterday. July 5th. The border opens.
Does it?
For fully vaccinated individuals.
I hadn't seen.
I don't know if it's for people coming into America, but I thought it was already open for that, to be honest. But I've heard that there was a border opening, and I was like, "Ooh, Benny's gonna go to a game."
I mean,
Grampy
maybe.
Watson.
I have not. Just because we've been covering that so heavily at work, and I haven't heard of anything about. But I will look into that after this episode.
I heard it on the Spit and Chicklets podcast, so it could be.
Ooh,
but I heard that it was July 5th. It was opening, and I was like, "There's still going to be games going on."
I mean, if that happens, that
could be.
I would have been at it on Thursday if.
Yeah.
That is a factual statement.
Yeah.
Factual.
Canadian officials say starting July 5th, Canadian citizens will not need to quarantine upon entering the.
I never did my paperwork. I never did my paperwork. Damn it.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, that's unfortunate. Do your paperwork now. Do it right now.
I don't. God damn it, 2017, Ben. Why couldn't you see a pandemic coming?
The procrastination comes back to bite him in the cheeks.
Dude, you can't chirp 2017, Ben. That's
I can chirp him all the fuck I want.
That's fair. It is you. It is you.
Well, that's disappointing. But I was very happy that my grandpa did get to go see that game on Thursday. That's pretty crazy for him. I mean, not to be too dark, but he is in his late 80s. So it's.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's in his late 80s. I cannot off the top of my head think how old he is.
Takes good care of himself. Dang.
Yeah, no, he's looked the same for the last 10 years.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, geez.
But
I thought he was still in his 70s.
I was really happy he got to see that on Thursday and experience that. it was special for him, and I was just happy. Even if I couldn't be in there, I was glad he got to go to that.
That is pretty cool.
Because they had to do a lottery with all the season ticket holders because there's only 3,500 seats, so it's just hope for the best. And then he missed out on games against Winnipeg, but then he got a game against Vegas.
So let me just read a little bit more of this article. It also says there are no changes to our current border measures to those who are not fully vaccinated, and the travel restrictions from the nation, including the U.S., are remaining in place until at least July 21st. So we're not crossing the border until the end of July.
Yeah. So
And then we will get wieners.
I'm not gonna lie. The biggest reason I was rooting for the Islanders in that series was because if
Close
that
game.
happened, I was gonna do all I fucking could to get down to the island for a game, because there's no fucking way if I'm that close to a Stanley Cup Finals game, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I was at dinner with the friends I went out to Monopole last night with. We went to dinner at Sip first, and the waitress we had there, I wore a jersey out, and she's like, "Ah, shit, nice jersey." And she was like, I'm flying down to Tampa on Wednesday for game 2. And I'm like, you bastard.
I know a girl from Ogdensburg,
but
I know a Tampa fan from Ogdensburg who flew down for a couple playoff games.
Dude, I would love to.
I will say it's been fun. I've been wearing jerseys around lately just because I'm feeling my team.
He's proud,
I'm like,
dude.
Yeah. And I wore it out last night, and there was like 4 or 5 separate people throughout the night who saw it and were like, "Hey, yeah, go Habs, let's go," or like, fuck them, or like whatever. But there were 2 or 3 separate people who were like, "Yeah, I wanted to beat fucking Tampa, screw them." So.
Yes, this is what I was gonna say. So I saw a picture. I don't remember where I saw it. It had to be Twitter, maybe Facebook.
Yeah.
But it was like based on tweets and like geolocation of tweets. This was in this last round, the semifinals, and it was like of Canada and it was of North America, and it was like colors of who was cheering for what team, and it was a lot of Islanders. A lot of people wanted the Islanders to win. That map right now is Florida blue, everywhere else red. Nobody else wants Tampa to win except for Tampa fans. Literally nobody.
I mean, it's just
I
because
don't
I
blame
think
them. I don't blame
it's
them.
back to back. Yeah, like I mean, back to backs are cool if you're the fan of that team.
Yeah.
But then otherwise, it's just like fucking
It's true.
again.
Fuck them. They just won
Again?
one. Give it to somebody else.
I mean, no, Habs got to earn the thing. But I guess that's what I want to get to next. What do you guys think is going to happen in this series? What are you guys expecting out of it?
I think the Canadians are going to win the first game.
Win the first game. They haven't always won the first game, but they've gotten at least a split in every round so far in the first 2.
I think
Tampa in 6.
I think Tampa, nice and concise from Nick. I think Tampa is hurting from the big Islanders, because let me tell you, they took a beating. And the Isles took one too.
Kucherov said he's not injured today. I don't know if I believe him.
Oh, he's lying.
Yeah, like
most of them are lying if they say they're not nursing something.
Yeah, everybody's got something at this point.
They're going to be tired. The Canadians had, I guess you only had one extra day. One extra day, but I think
but it is in Tampa. Game 1's in Tampa, so it's not like Canadians the Tampa players don't have to travel, so that saves them a
that
little
does
bit
help.
too.
But the Canadians again, they're similar to the Isles in that they play a system, and that system works.
Yeah.
So they're going to come in, they're going to play that system, and I think the Lightning again are going to have to take a game and figure out how to penetrate that system and how to defend against it. And I think they may lose that first one, but this is another one. You can't tell because you haven't seen these two teams play against each other this year.
Yeah. That's the weirdest thing about these last few rounds is like you can see them play other teams all you want and be like, they look fucking great or whatever. But like every time, like every season, you'll get games where like certain teams just play certain teams different ways, and there's like certain matchups end up just affecting it weird, and like you never really know. But did you say a game count on your series?
Me?
Or were you gonna? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even say. I could easily see this going to 7. I'm not even gonna.
And
make
once it gets there,
I'm not even gonna.
once it
make
gets to 7, it's
I will
just kind
say,
of crapshoot.
we have a nice uninjured Stamkos who loves him some scoring on Price.
He does, yeah.
So-
I've seen a lot of that in
But I
my
hope
lifetime.
He comes in.
But I've also never seen. This is the best hockey I've ever seen Carey Price play.
That's true.
Full stop.
Okay.
It's.
Did you
it's been
guys?
special.
Did you guys hear that stat on SDP this week? Maybe it was a couple episodes ago. They were talking about how it could be 2 years in a row that the Stanley Cup winners are going to play the team in their division again.
Yes,
the next
because
year.
this year Dallas randomly got put in with Tampa, and it was Stanley Cup rematches all season. And then next year, both Montreal and Tampa will be in the Atlantic
division. And then they're gonna
No, the Atlantic's gonna be a fucking.
The Atlantic looks.
It's looking like it's gonna be a fucking machine.
Mhm.
Holy! I don't know what's gonna happen next year. Holy,
I think it's gonna be tough for like subpar teams like Ottawa to even like try and hold on because there's so many good teams. Like it's just a joke.
There's
now
gonna
in my
be
head.
some balancing.
I know
though,
the
I
Atlantic's
think.
not a bad division. Like we just used to joke about it, but like
They
I have a hard
kinda
time
iffy.
believing that Ottawa's gonna even like. Remember Melnick says, "Oh, they're gonna have a cup in 2 years." Yeah, look at the fucking top of the Atlantic. Good luck.
I will say the things that'll affect that is Boston sort of seems to be at a bit of a crossroads where they got to sort of figure out what they are.
Yeah.
Tampa, unless Kucherov has another year-long injury to just throw him on the IR again, they're going to have to figure
They'll
out
do
something to
something,
do with the money there. Like there's gonna be a little bit of a balancing, but like Tampa's still gonna be a fucking force. Like I have no doubts about that. It's gonna be an interesting year. But any other guys, your thoughts on this?
The Stanley
Cup
Cup
Finals
is once again the Lightning and Corey Perry's team.
So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I like your take, Mike, about like the Lightning kind of feeling teams like that out because they kind of have to, especially because of how well Montreal plays with structure. So I could totally see the Habs taking Game 1. To be honest, I'm not even gonna. I just want to watch. I'm a sad Islanders boy right now, so I'm just gonna watch the series and take it all in, because it's gonna be some good hockey. Yes.
I asked Mike about this. He doesn't seem to think it would be that bad of a situation. If he wears a Tampa jersey when he's down on Long Island, is he gonna die?
No, you'll be fine.
Now, what if I wore it into Borelli's?
That might be a problem.
Yeah,
that might be a problem.
No, that would actually be a problem
No,
because
I know.
Long Islanders don't know how to actually control themselves. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I don't actually plan on wearing a jersey because I think it's going to be too damn hot.
Yeah, probably
you can wear like
will
a
be.
t-shirt or something.
Yeah, I'll wear a jersey.
I'm gonna bring a jersey in case.
Oh, you'll
Gotta
be
always
fine.
be prepared.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll be.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I'm gonna
I-
bring one too. Yeah.
Yeah, bring a jersey. I don't think it'll be a big deal. I mean, what are Islanders fans gonna say? Like, oh, you weren't Tampa. Like, dude, Tampa beat us, bro. Don't chirp the team that beat you. Like, well, what's your chirp gonna? Whatever chirp.
They had
you
7
think
guys
of,
on the ice.
They're gonna. Yeah, it's over and done. It's over and done. It's
Yeah.
over. But for the series, I think the starting goaltenders are going to be Jake Allen and Curtis McElhinney. I'm kidding. No, that's not
bold.
gonna.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine I double down on
But
that.
the Habs' chances at that point.
That makes it. That turns it from like Tampa Bay Habs to the other way.
Flips it real fast.
No offense to McElhinney, but
You know what? I think the starting goalies are going
Kind
to
of sucks booty cheeks.
Carey Price and Curtis McElhinney. That's going to be the Stanley Cup match. No, I'm kidding.
Then I feel
Jesus.
very good. Then I'd
No,
feel
no,
very
no.
good.
No, I'm
That
just
would be so
excited.
good.
I'm excited to see Vasi and Price play each other though, because that's going to be awesome. Because like
two
again,
best
Carey
stats
Price
in the
is
league, I think.
Yeah.
now.
Carey Price is playing his best hockey right now, and Vasi is Vasi. He's incredible, in his prime.
Vasi's
for
playing his
sure.
regular hockey.
Yeah. And so,
gonna be good. And
yeah,
I'm
It's
excited.
going to be good. I'm excited too.
Nick's excited as well.
What do you think?
You guys
you're
just
gonna
need
be
to remind
seeing?
me every day. Every day that a game's on, text me just so I remember
I
to watch.
sent you guys a schedule.
There's a game.
Yeah,
There's a
that's-
game. Yeah, but the
It's
schedule.
day on, day off.
I don't give a shit about that. I'm
Monday,
not going to
Wednesday,
look
Friday,
at it.
Sunday.
Text me. Hey, games on
Although
tonight.
there actually no, there are some there's 3-day gaps actually. I lied.
Oh, wow.
It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but then not again until Monday. Oh yeah, it's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then a Sunday. If it goes to 7.
If it goes to 7, yeah.
And they're all at
They're
8
not going to have a
p.m.
game Sunday
except
this
for
week.
Sunday's
because
game 7.
They wouldn't have a game Sunday this week because it's 4th of July.
Right. Why would you schedule it so a game 7 ends up on Sunday?
Because
Yeah, who the fuck does that? Just like having Super Bowls on Sundays too. I'm like, hey, I gotta go to
Saturday
work the
night's
next
right
week, you son of a
there.
bitch.
hey,
Saturday night's right there. Like, what do you? Anyway.
Hey, I don't know if you have it on your like outline, Mike, but this is completely separate topic. Did you guys happen to read anything that's going on with the Blackhawks right now?
I've heard about it all. It's not
Oh
good.
god,
It's very, very bad.
We can talk about it if you
Yeah.
want. I don't know very much about it. I just know that it's a bad situation.
Just know that
We
there's
can
like some like
Do the Cliff's
pretty
Notes
like
version
intense
if you
like
want.
sexual assault like claims coming out.
Yeah.
And like people like Quinville and Bergevin and like some higher ups on that team are claiming they had no like idea what was
the
going on, which
GM.
is like hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's still there.
It was confirmed that like so Cliff Notes version of what happened 2010 playoffs during third round. It's alleged that one of their video coaches, I think his name's Brian Aldrich,
Yeah.
I believe.
Sure.
Something Aldrich.
Had players at his apartment or wherever going over stuff or whatever, and he got him drunk and tried to, I think it was perform oral sex.
He
Was
tried to
the
suck him off, yeah.
was the
So elegant,
alleged
Mike.
crime? Yeah. And then the players brought that to the team. It's alleged that the team higher ups, which was I think it was the GM Stan Bowman, the team president, and then like some other like position, I don't remember what it was, met and like discussed the allegation or whatever, and then it was never brought forward to any police. And then after he left the organization,
This is
with a
the,
referral,
this is the worst part.
worst part is with a referral. I think they even gave him a reference letter.
Yeah, they did.
To get a new job after at wasn't it a school?
He went to a school.
And he assaulted a minor in that capacity.
Yeah, like he went to like
It
a
was a
Minnesota
17-year-old.
like college team.
Yeah. So it's I don't know why there's such a lack of report. Well, I know why there's a lack of reporting on it. That the NHL seems to have a really good handle on media in terms of they don't want to burn bridges with the NHL because it's the Stanley Cup Final, and the NHL doesn't want things to be talked about right now because this is their big week. But there's just a whole lot of nothing really coming from the Chicago right now. I don't think they've the team at all has made much of a statement.
I don't think so.
It's gonna be interesting to see how it comes to this because they basically covered up a sexual assault allegation. If this is all true, because I don't know, it's been just confirmed by too many people from the situation for me to think it's not. It's too many people have come forward, too many coaches and former players from that team have come forward.
Isn't the GM saying now he's yeah, I know what happened and I'm willing to talk about it?
I don't know about all that. I didn't. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think Stan.
Somebody
I don't
with
think
the
anybody.
Blackhawks said that they're.
That was an assistant coach, I think, that said they were willing to testify. So that makes me think it almost certainly happened. So the Chicago Blackhawks covered this up and then allowed, and in so doing, not reporting it, probably. I mean, you don't know what would happen, but it probably helped cause what happened with a minor. It's not good.
It wouldn't have been as obviously it wouldn't have been ideal, but it wouldn't have been as bad if they had just canned him.
Yeah.
But they give him a reference letter.
Yeah.
To go to a school? Come on, dude. Bunch of assholes.
Also, the players were the ones who came forward, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They went to a psychiatrist or something.
Yeah.
Like NHL, do you care about your players? Those are your employees.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't think it ever got to the actual NHL though. I think it was all in the team.
Sorry, Blackhawks organization. Do you care about
that too?
Oh
yeah.
But now the NHL knows, and this is the thing. They've punished teams multi draft picks, whatever money, fines and whatever for things like having pre-draft workouts privately
or saying mean words.
And you're just gonna be silent on this? This is the one you're not gonna. This is the one you're not gonna say. Oh, okay, you're Chicago not gonna do anything with the Chicago. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm sure something's gonna come of it. I'm sure something's gonna come of it. I honestly think they just don't want it to be happening right now because it's their big week.
It's the big finale.
Which is kind of sad. It's kind of starting to come to the front right now.
It's the Cup Finals, and then we kind of like roll right into expansion.
Yeah.
So like, when's it gonna come out? You're gonna let this blow up right before expansion draft?
That's the other thing, though. What might be a really good idea is to just get out in front of it and deal with it. So like, the more you just keep ignoring it, just the more angry people are gonna get. Like.
Yep.
They're not helping themselves in any way right now, but the NHL doing NHL things, what's surprising about
Shocker.
That? What a bunch of chode bags.
I don't know about this league sometimes. Most of the time. I don't know about this league.
It's like it's run by a bunch of dipshits.
This league dear.
Yeah. That I've given so much fucking money to.
Yes. Well, onto some lighter stuff. Some coaches have been hired.
The weirdest one.
The weirdest
one.
With
Seattle.
Yeah, let's go to Seattle first. So Dave Hakstol becomes the first head coach in Kraken history, who I hadn't even really heard of. Like, the name sounded familiar, but so he was the D coach for Toronto this year, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, which actually looked pretty good.
Yeah,
that was like one of the better parts of their team.
I've never heard of him.
He started, I don't remember what was it, North Dakota? He was like a prominent college coach, I know, at one point in the NCAA. Then the Flyers were the ones who gave him his first look. I don't know when. It was like mid 2010s, late somewhere around there. Okay. He got a few seasons with them. I think it was 3 actually with them, and like they were never terrible, but they were never really. They were just kind of they were a pretty middle team, and I think they made a couple playoff rounds. I don't think they ever did much. And they ended up getting fired, and then he's been an assistant coach the last couple of years in Toronto, where he seemed to. But I mean, hey, it could have just been a like lack of fit in Philly, and like who knows, he probably did learn some down the road with Toronto. It wouldn't shock me if he could do well in Seattle in a completely new situation where you get a sort of chance to mold a team. You get a chance to mold a team from scratch. I imagine they're got like in a situation like this, your coach is going to be involved with the general manager and like player selection, because it's such a weird situation where like you're starting from scratch. You should probably maybe have your coach involved, being like, hey.
Yes.
Like what could we maybe do with these guys? So like it's just gonna be a fun time, because I remember it was a lot of fun the summer Vegas happened. It was just a really fun off season for news and all the kind of crazy stuff that happened. So we shall see with Seattle.
Yes, and Vegas's first inaugural coach, or their only inaugural coach, that was a little redundant, is gone to the Rangers. Gerard Gallant, which
is a guy that I never really understand why he ever gets fired.
I don't know why. At least
I was just gonna say that. So, Vegas has been in the league like
4
years now.
Yeah, this is their 5th.
You were just talking about a coach building a team from scratch. Yeah. How do you can a coach on a team that has never ever played together before? Brand new system, brand new players, everything.
Bad.
It comes, and they weren't even bad. Like they weren't even doing badly when he got fired. Vegas. It seems like they're very impatient. They are always doing things.
The Raiders are the same way though.
Every offseason, every trade deadline, every free agency opening day, they're in on the biggest one, and they're always gonna be in, and they're always doing. And it's just like
that's true.
I don't know how sustainable that is. And I think they've kind of started to show that, like
Eichel to Vegas.
They
also don't like. I think as a front office too, like what they did with their was the player they ship out of town this year.
Paul Stastny.
There's a couple players that I'm thinking of, and I can't. Oh, it was Nate Schmidt specifically.
Paul Stastny and Nate Schmidt.
Ship, they take these guys in expansion,
that looks like a good move,
and then
yeah.
are like, okay, well, when you're,
yeah.
I'm not gonna keep you when your next best one's there. I'm just gonna send you away. Like they kind of prove that they
Yeah.
don't give a shit about their players.
There was talk about that when the whole Nate Schmidt to Vancouver to sign Pietrangelo thing happened. There was like rumors coming out that like, because there was also trade rumors, pretty strong ones, that Pacioretty almost got shipped out at that point in time.
Oh.
But then it didn't end up. So there was a lot of talk of people within the Vegas dressing room kind of getting annoyed at, all right, you're going to sign me for these long deals, but you're just immediately, if like you said, Nick, if somebody else comes along that's better, like, you're gone. Okay, yeah, bye. Like you got to be able to establish, you got to be able to establish some amount of continuity with a team.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I mean, I agree. Adding an Alex Pietrangelo, I mean, he was their best player against the Habs.
Yes.
Very good hockey player. I think the end of that contract is going to be
booty cheeks.
Could be kind
not
of
going to be great by the end. But I don't know. Vegas, they're a confusing team. I think they could go a lot of ways this summer. They could either maybe realize, like, all right, maybe we just got to kind of hold fast here, figure out what parts of this team we think are worth keeping, and then maybe build around some kind of identity other than just most expensive guys all the time, every time.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna go balls to the walls, all in, and go for Jack Eichel. Because that would follow the trend of going for the biggest fish.
Biggest guy, yeah.
And they do need center help. I will say, if your answer is Chandler Stevenson, and then he went out for 3 of their 6 games. He was in 3, he was out for 3. But even when he was there, it's not like Chandler Stevenson is gonna break. Like, that was why, yes, the Habs like have had a lot of injury luck in this run that's gotten them where they are. But then when I saw people grouping John Tavares and then Mark Scheifele being out with his suspension alongside Chandler Stevenson, I was like, guys, what are we? Guys, are you?
They're definitely on the same level, yes.
But I don't know. Vegas, I'm interested to see where they go from here. But we were talking about Gerard Gallant because he went to New York. So what do you guys think about him being in New York?
I personally like it because New York has a fairly young team, and Vegas was pretty young when they came in. So I think, and they had success right away. So I feel like he does well with younger players.
He actually, interestingly, before he was at the Florida job that he got fired before he then went to Vegas, then he got fired, and now he's in New York. Before all that, you know where he was?
I don't know, probably Canadians.
Yes, he was the assistant. He was an assistant coach for the Canadians, and he was well known to be pretty beloved with a lot of the players in the room. And I think he was. I want to say he was around the same time as when it was Galchenyuk and Gallagher's early years, and like they really kind of gelled under. Like he was around for all that, and then he seemed to just kind of keep having that sort of presence. So yeah, I think it does make a lot of sense with the Rangers, because there's like the Rangers have everything there.
Yes.
Like I think they're mostly most of the way there. They just kind of need to.
They placed higher than Montreal this year.
Yeah,
in the
they
regular
did.
Season.
They did. They did.
Eric, what are your thoughts?
Basically, I agree with what everyone has said so far. I think the Rangers have so much offensive talent, and I just think when I think of Gallant, like I think of all the offensive talent on the previous teams that he has coached and how he's like made them gel and just like utilized them very well. And I think the future is bright for New York, for sure. I guess as an Islanders fan, it's like, oh
no,
it's gonna. But at the same time, it's gonna be fun. Like I hope the rivalry is kind of. I mean, I know I was saying this this past season because both teams played each other 9 times, but I think this will add a bit more to that Isles Rangers rivalry, which is pretty cool.
Very well.
Now kind of a coaching rivalry because Trotz is
Gallant and Trotz.
Yeah, Trotz is a great coach. That was Gallant, so we'll see what happens. Also, kind of feel bad for David Quinn. I wouldn't think I don't think he's a bad coach. I just think the Rangers kind of were sick of kind of impatient as well. But understandably so when you have that much young talent and you want to see that young talent do something. So we shall see this upcoming season.
Yes, I'm interested. But this season isn't done yet, boys.
It's not.
We got one big old series left.
One last series. Right. Nicholas, I know you got sunburnt today.
So I didn't get burnt for the reason you think I got burnt. So I didn't end up golfing today. We went to my aunt's lake house on the
that's always fun.
Sacandaga. And if I can get my sleeve up high enough to show you the difference.
Oh, we
Like, can you
see.
see that?
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell.
We see the pink.
Yeah.
It's significantly worse in person. And I can like I didn't want to put sleeves on for this. I wanted to keep a cutoff on, but you guys were gonna see it the whole time and laugh. So I put sleeves on, and it does not feel good right now. Like I knew I was gonna get burnt, and I could feel it, but
gotta get yourself some of that aloe.
I have some. But I
Aloe's for
know
baby
you want to
boys.
ask me about golf. I did play around Friday night.
Yes.
I have not played in a good few weeks.
This weekend's gonna be interesting.
All I'm gonna say
Yeah.
is,
Okay. Yeah. Well.
I gotta
what's
hope
this
my my
this-
instincts going back to my home course are just gonna have to really kick in.
Oh.
Just be like, all right, here we go.
What's this?
So
week?
I laid in bed this morning, and I'm watching like Malone posts like a drone video covering all their holes. Like you can just learn more about the course, and every single green is slanted backwards.
Oh yeah,
frontwards.
they're
Dang
not.
it, man.
They're
Protection
not,
of bunkers,
Stupid
like
greens.
deep bunkers
Flat.
all around them. No, I'm like, is there a non-protected green here, like, or a non-slanted green? This is gonna be a bitch.
That course is the only reason I can still play semi-decent golf when I don't play all that often. It's because I played on that for like 4 years.
I've been playing.
It looks like it's a
recently.
beast. Lengthwise, it looks like it's a beast because there's
It's
some
not
big.
that bad.
There's some,
There are
like,
some
it looks
long
like there's
holes.
some long par fives and long par fours.
Did you get a look at number 5 on the east? It's the par 5 where there's like a big dip valley right before a raised green.
Yes.
It's
There's one that's got like just like a rolling fairway, and I'm like,
yes.
that's so uncomfortable because like either you're gonna hit it uphill or downhill
To hit
or
up a
in the
downslope.
valley in between. Like what do you want me to do?
It's not an easy course, but it's a
Dang.
fun time. I actually do really enjoy Malone Golf Course. I got back there I think 2 summers ago, and I haven't been since. But it's a fun time.
Oh yeah, we'll have fun. I'm excited. All right, gentlemen. We've been going for a little bit here. But with returning, we didn't do snack time with the boys last week because we didn't have the boys. We had just 2 of them. So I was like, you know what? Let's wait. Let's save it because I had an idea.
We got a snack time.
Plus, we were kind of just winging it last
Oh,
week anyway.
we
We
were
didn't really have
crazy
much
winging.
structure to it.
No, we were winging. So we all here, I think, partake of coffee in the morning. And I know that coffee is something that can be very different. Nick does not, apparently.
Oh,
I
I
don't
do.
either.
I
Actually.
drink
I
too
like
much coffee.
but I don't drink it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Well, if
But
you
you
were to
can still
drink a
continue,
coffee,
yes,
because
if you were.
I do have preferences on coffee,
Well,
so I think I
take
feel
it
like I
away.
know where this is going.
Take it away, sir.
No. Continue.
Yes,
I
no.
didn't know what you were.
Well,
we gotta
that's
do some
it.
more setup here.
That's it.
Or how do we drink our coffee?
What's your
is what
your
you're asking?
coffee go-to preferences? How do you have it? Cream, sugar, iced, hot, whatever.
Oh boy.
And go.
Okay.
Bitch. I don't like hot drinks. I think you guys knew this for a while now. I have never enjoyed a hot drink. I don't
That's
like
true.
hot chocolate. I don't like coffee hot. I don't like tea. It's just something about hot drinks. I'm like, I just like cold drinks.
Cold liquids.
So your boy is a nice coffee guy, but specifically only Stewart's because they have some
Only
fucking
Stewart's.
magic in those coolers that just make me like, ooh, this is the tastiest
It's
thing.
the syrup that they put into it. It's not magic. It's the syrup.
Yeah.
It's sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar
And
and
it's
magic,
like
the same.
so I know with Stewart's their iced coffee is already it's like made and bottled. It comes in like a half gallon, like their Stewart's half gallon containers.
Mhm.
So it's already sweetened too at that point. So I don't know like what brew it is. I don't know how much sugar's in it. I know they put creamer in it because I watch them put like French vanilla or whatever, hazelnut. But then they put like the best one I had was just like a chocolate one. They just put like chocolate drizzle all over the cup, and I was like, whew!
Woo. So there we heard Nick's. Nick doesn't usually partake of coffee, but there's his. And now Ben has it every morning.
Yeah, pretty
you have a
much.
good
Sometimes
set.
I have 2 cups.
I have more than that, usually.
I
Joe.
usually have I have a Keurig, but I have one of those refillable cups that I just put coffee grounds in, and I rotate usually between just Dunkin' Donuts original roast and the Tim Hortons like original blend. And then I'm real simple.
Donut shop too.
Yes, I did like that.
Yeah.
I am pretty simple though. I just do like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of sugar usually, and a splash of milk, and that's it. I'm a very simple coffee man.
How about you, Rick?
I mean, no, I guess if I was really simple, it'd just be black. But
how about you, Rick? When you feel like going for some coffee?
I don't have coffee often. The last time I had coffee was when I was actually. Wait, when was this? Oh, actually, yeah, it was just this past weekend. I was driving upstate, and I was like, I don't want to drive tired. I'm gonna have one of those Starbucks espresso things, the chilled
Ooh,
ones.
went for the expensive coffee.
Yeah,
That's one place that I have absolutely no fucking idea. If I pulled up to a drive-thru, I'd be like, "I'll take a large iced coffee, please."
Yeah,
Starbucks.
I would have no clue. Like, I would have to look up if I went to a Starbucks. I would look at my phone, pick an order, and just say "fuck it" and order it. Like I would have no idea what I'm getting.
Starbucks employees always
like
like
a sweet
me because
chai venti latte with sweet chrome or sweet cream and foam drizzle and shit.
Chrome drizzle.
Like, what?
Chrome drizzle.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Now, Ben, why do Starbucks employees like you?
Because they're always so confused because I'm just like, yeah, I'll just have a medium coffee, and they're like, oh, this size. I'm like, whatever the size is, but then there's like, oh, that's cool, and they just literally have to pour a cup and hand me it because usually the cream and sugar's
Nice
next
and
to it, like, so they're just like, oh yeah, you're the best.
Continue.
It wasn't a very good point, but.
So I just want to say I don't normally go for Starbucks. I just wanted something strong, and yes, it was expensive as frick. That's why I don't go to Starbucks.
Espresso.
Honestly, Starbucks is like hit or miss. People either absolutely love it or say it's the worst coffee ever. To be honest, it's probably good coffee. It's just a matter of taste.
Yeah, it's a preference.
But my parents usually drink the original Dunkin' roast. So like if I was gonna have coffee and it was just left over like on the countertop, it would just be the original Dunkin', and I would add a little bit of skim milk. And that's pretty much it. I usually don't add sugar. That's
interesting.
Yeah,
Mr. Healthy.
Super. Well, I like the bitter taste of coffee. That's why I like dark chocolate and stuff like that. I like bitterness. I don't like. I know iced coffee when it has like the syrup in it sometimes is really good. It's like kind of addicting, honestly, because it's like super sweet and it's like coffee ice cream basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that like bitterness. I'm still looking for the perfect cup of coffee. I wanna try a cup of coffee like just black that makes.
Did you never watch Elf? New York City has
there's like a diner. There's like a
coffee or whatever the fuck it is.
World's best cup of coffee.
Was it? Wait, what was the name?
It's a shitty little diner down in New York City somewhere that was in Elf, wherever you are. I don't know.
Because I feel like No, I don't think Caroline and I went to. Caroline knows a lot of those like niche spots like that, but I don't think we went to it. That'd be funny though. We did.
I'll make you some coffee one day. I'll make you some coffee. Okay. I'll get like some primo beans and I'll like grind it up right before.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We'll get some nice coffee going.
And Mike, let's hear it. What about you?
Dude, I am a jack of all trades when it comes to coffee.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I most mornings I take it black.
Okay.
Because it's easy. You just pour it in the mug and you go and you drink it. Plus I like it. So it's like there's really no unhealthy shit in there except for like the caffeine, if you count that as unhealthy. But like every now and then I want some cream and some sugar in it if I feel like it. Every now and then I'll get an iced if I feel like it. And if I really want to treat myself, I go to Starbucks and I get a white chocolate mocha delicious latte thing. I can't remember exactly the name of it. That's how I order it. I'm like, can I get the white chocolate thing? And they know what I'm talking about.
I hope they write on your cup white chocolate thing.
That thing, whatever it is so good. It's like hot chocolate, dude. It's freaking delicious.
I'd be like, give me your favorite iced coffee drink. Make it however the fuck you want. I don't care.
I'm gonna order like that next time.
Here's the reason I prefer Stewart's though. So
I like Stewart's coffee as well. Tasty.
A lot of people just like it in general. Like, think it's just a
good.
better like ground coffee, just because it's usually typically fresher, because that's what all their stuff is more fresh. But I've been to Cumberland Farms, and like you have to sweeten up your own. Like, it's just not, they don't just make it for you. You have to make it yourself. And Dunkin', the last time I had a Dunkin' iced coffee, it tasted like freaking rubber.
Dude,
and I was like,
Dunkin's,
this is gross.
people love
So I never went back.
Dunkin'. People love Dunkin'
A
so
lot of people
much.
do, yeah.
And I'm like there'll be times where I go and I get coffee and I'm like, dude, this isn't just not very
I like
good.
their normal coffee. I like just the hot coffee.
Well, I get there are times where it's good, but there are also times where it's just not good, and there's like grounds in my coffee, and I'm like, what the hell?
Ben, I don't think like you can compare like your Dunkin' coffee that you drink to.
Oh no, but I do actually like it, like from the
Oh,
store.
okay. I thought you were just comparing it.
There
that
are
way.
times where it's really good, but there are times when
Yeah, I
it's
don't know.
not
Like,
very good.
I had it a couple times, and I just don't like their culottes are great.
Oh, dude, their
Oh,
lemonade
actually,
lemonade
Their fruit
refreshers,
culottes
boys.
are good.
They did a Arnold Palmer culotta for a couple summers at one point.
And like,
That was-
so you
that was
can't
good.
like. I'm not gonna shit on Dunkin'. Like, they have some good shit. Like donuts, I'm not fucking with anybody else. Like, they're the go-to. But like, sometimes it's like you just said, their coffee is just kind of like, oh, if is it gonna be? It's like, here, flip a coin. Is it gonna be good today, or is it gonna suck dick?
Wow. You just said you wouldn't shit on Dunkin', and then just proceeded to shit on Dunkin'.
Yes, he did. He did. You know,
But
that's why we like
respect.
Nick on this show.
Yes.
What are you gonna say?
So Eric,
Nick?
here's something.
I want to make sure we're moving on from food first, and then,
Yes,
then
Nick.
any other coffee thoughts?
No. I'll let him go.
Is there a coffee shop near
No,
your
no,
house?
no. Finish the coffee.
I
and
thought
then-
I thought you had something you were gonna talk. I
No.
didn't want to cut you off. So Eric, Mike and I were we talking about Top Golf?
You and me were, Nick.
Yeah. I
Eric,
thought we were.
Eric was not in the conversation.
Eric, there's a Top Golf place in New Jersey. You ever heard of like, it's like an hour-ish away from West. I'm not gonna say where you're from.
From where he is,
Oh,
I'll put a nice beep
sorry.
there.
I mean, I know. Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess you could do that. I don't really. Well, I guess should I really care about that?
I don't know. Unless we get like one really dedicated super fan,
Yeah.
like Eric. I want to
They're
come
outside
to
your house with a sign. I love you, Eric.
Caroline.
I mean, if it was gonna be any of us, it would be Eric.
It would be, yeah.
It would be Eric.
It's Frankie Borelli. And because he heard me say that I didn't want to go to Borelli's, and he needs to know why.
So
Top Golf.
yeah, we were talking. So me and Nick were jaw-jacking about it, and because that would be fun to do for all of us, because you don't move very much. You're in the one spot, and it would also be very easy for me to shoot and to make a cool little video out of.
Are we
Okay,
saying like when we go down there
But the
instead
problem
of
is-
going golfing?
Well,
No.
Yeah.
The problem is,
So it's an hour and a half away from Eric's place. I don't think mileage wise it's that far. I think it's like 35 miles from like.
We would take. public
I don't know
transport,
exactly
yeah.
where you live, but like I kind of just took like a general like area and then shot it over. But it's like
Okay.
it's like an hour to like an hour and a half.
It's a
and
bit-
I think the mileage is like, it's not crazy, but I'm like,
it's a bit too long of a
why does it
trip
take so
for
long?
me, personally.
Okay.
But if you guys want
That's-
to, I'll go.
no, I don't. I'm not saying to. I'm just thinking like
It's an
ideas.
option.
It is an option.
It's an
Keep in-
option.
My uncle also today, I was telling him that we were going down, and he says to me, "Hey, I was down in New York City a couple months ago," and he's like, "If you have spare time," he's like, "I know it's in Brooklyn. If you guys don't go into the city, don't do it. But like, if you go into the city," he said, "there's this place called Beat the Bomb in Brooklyn, where like
Is
it's
that
kind of
like
like
an
it's kind of like an escape room, yeah." And like, but you got to do like, it's like a significantly more intense version of an escape room from what he said.
Okay.
And I was like, ooh, that sounds like it could be fun.
That could be
It was
fun.
like action movie. You got to defuse the bomb.
Well, you gotta You get like scored, and you gotta go like you can't like there's like a laser part of the room where you can't hit a laser. Like you gotta step over it and go under.
Oh,
and
I would not
And
be
then
good
it
at
cuts
that.
off your limb.
Look it up.
I'd be
Look it
losing
up.
us all the points on that one.
It's
I am
called
not
Beat
flexible.
the Bomb.
I'll go
make
through
one.
the laser room, and then I'll turn the lasers off.
But I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea too. Not that I'm not. You could have the whole thing planned out, and we could just roll up and be like, all right, boys, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing X, Y, and Z, and then none of this could matter. But
Mini
So-
golf has got to be a
on
thing,
some
though. Mini
ball-
golf.
Mini golf we do
mini
gotta
golf.
do, yeah.
Mini golf is gonna be a thing. There's an escape room place. If you guys are down, I didn't know you guys like. Are you guys like big on escape rooms? Is that like
I'm
something-
not,
I've never done
but
one.
They look
I-
freaking fun. So
Okay, because there's an escape room place really close to me that my brother goes to all the time, and he knows all the good rooms and stuff. So he could totally. I mean,
Yeah.
we could go with him.
he could
too.
come with us.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, he could come with us.
Remember, he's
cheating.
smart. Eric's brother's smart.
he already knows where everything is.
Yeah.
The keys
Actually,
under here, and the little codes
he might
here.
Yeah, he might have done every room actually, so maybe he can't go with us.
You know what? He can hold the camera.
Yeah, he could be the cameraman. That'd be hilarious.
He's just laughing while we get everything wrong.
Yeah. But I wanna. So for sure we're going. So I'm trying to plan this out. But if Caroline can come down because she knows Brooklyn, I really want to take you guys to some good food spots, and we could do like a day in the city kind of a thing. Not like a full day in the city, but just like a little taste of the city because we can easily get there. Like the train station's 5 minutes from my house. We just hop on, hour we're there, hour we're back. So
Nice.
Sounds good to me. Is
Well,
that,
do we have
is
any
that close to
other
the NHL store?
That's
so
near...
we can do that. It's
Brooklyn and Manhattan.
Yes.
Or
so
sorry, that was fucking stupid.
Oh.
The NHL store is in Manhattan.
is in Manhattan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
So how
God,
far is that?
I'm dumb.
Oh, it's not. I mean, honestly, like you guys are like you're the group. Like if you don't mind a little bit of walking, like it's a city. Like
Oh, I love
we
walking.
could just,
I don't mind
yeah,
walking.
We could
New York
just walk.
City's easy anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And Caroline knows it like the back, like literally like the back of her hand. She knows.
Let's bring the blades. We can just rollerblade around. I'm kidding. That's probably a bad idea.
Run people over? That could be fun.
Get run over.
But
Get run
before
over.
Oh.
we wrap
That
up,
would
do we
not
have
be
any other
fun.
pod-related stuff to talk? Do we have any other hockey
Well,
topics?
I know that you are holding onto a jersey of some kind and want to talk.
Well,
about something,
I'm just gonna when we
Getting
get
ready.
to the end.
Like he's fucking just like he's like on edge over there, wanting to get that thing up.
I gotta
Wait,
I gotta
Well,
get it
no,
back.
just because I'm at the end, I'm just gonna say I the other night I was drunk after Game 6 and I ordered because this is an old enough Habs jersey where the coloring is close to correct for the '93 playoff run.
Ooh.
So I ordered a '93 Cup Finals patch to
Oh, nice.
put here,
Very
and
nice.
it's
Very
gonna
fancy.
get here probably Tuesday. I'm gonna iron it on, hopefully for good luck, because I've been wearing this jersey the last little while for games.
Okay.
All right.
And
I hope it does not bring you luck.
well, I mean, yeah. But do we have
Very
anything else
cool.
left to do?
Oh, I got a question.
Next
Now
question.
that our teams are out, Eric, if you have a preference team in the finals, do you have a
It's
preference
not
team
the
in the finals?
fucking Lightning, obviously.
I'm gonna be honest. Like emotionally after the game, I was like, I'm going for the Habs all the way. Screw the Lightning. I was like so angry. But to be honest, I don't know. I don't want to pick because I don't. If you two are like kind of, I'm not really that superstitious. But if you two are superstitious, I don't.
Oh, you
wanna
can
play
pick.
any
I don't
part
give
in
a
that.
fuck.
don't care.
I mean, the team that I want to see win, just for the underdog story and just because they're like the Canadian Islanders, I gotta go Habs. I gotta go. And yes, the fact that the Lightning beat me, so I gotta go Habs. But
I have a
I just want to
preference.
see, dude. I just want to see a really good series because all of the Lightning Canadians playoff games, I remember watching those like back in the day, and
They were
those
good.
so much fun.
They're
Yeah,
usually
that's,
good games.
Yeah, they're fantastic. So yeah, I guess if I had to pick, it would be
He's
the
a
Habs.
toilet
But
seat for the next couple of
but
weeks.
yes, I am. But
Toilet
that being
seater.
said, Tampa looks like a wagon right now, and
A fat wagon.
they definitely, yeah, and they if I had to pick a team like who do you think's gonna win? I'd say Tampa in 7. I'd say it goes 7, but the team.
There
that
it goes. You made
I
the
want
pick.
the Habs.
There it is.
But Benny, I am a toilet seat just like you. I was actually thinking of printing out a Canadiens jersey, not a Canadiens logo, and just taping it over the Islanders, really crappily, so you could still just see the Islanders logo.
Just put a piece of tape like on each corner. Not even make it good.
That would have been funny. Yeah. Nick?
I'm going for the Habs too.
Damn
because
it! I have no friends.
I kind of alluded to it earlier. I do not like to see the same team keep winning. I've never been that kind of like fan for sports. And B, I have too many Canadian family members that like if I told them I don't want to root for the Canadians here, I'd probably get killed.
No, we wouldn't get killed. He's being hyperbolic.
Just kidding.
Well, yes, obviously.
I would catch too much flack from my northern brethren.
Yeah.
I'm going for the Lightning.
I'm with you.
In case anyone's wondering.
Oh, really, Mike?
Yes.
Weird.
No, I wasn't asking
yes,
you. I was
am.
just asking Eric.
But you're going what, Mike?
Going Lightning.
I'm going Lightning on this one. That's who I want to win.
It's weird. Yeah. What does that say in your hat?
NHL?
I see some Tampa. Oh, Tampa Bay. Okay, that makes sense.
It'll be interesting to see. We got 3 games this week, 3 games next week, eh?
It's yeah. Monday,
So
Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
We will have 3 games to talk about when we join back next week, and hopefully 3 good games.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a tight series either way.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm worried because as good as this system has been, as good as they've been looking, as good as everything, Tampa's just a fucking team. Like
they are the most complete team.
Yeah.
In a very long time.
Yeah.
There is no position that they're weak at, except backup goalie.
Yeah. So it's going to be a tough series, but I mean, if the Habs can make it through the Lightning after making through Vegas, people can wipe their ass with the they had an easy go of it argument that I've been seeing. Mm-hmm. So if they win it, they'll deserve it. If they don't, hey, I hope they just make it a good series with Tampa, which I think they're capable of. Everything I've seen so far makes me think it'll at least be close, but we shall see.
We shall. And we shall see you next week. Have a good one, segue. Gentlemen and ladies.
I fucking hate you, Ben. Come on, dude.